Alright, welcome back to Select Matters this morning, and we're live on your number one health radio. Okay, drug abuse is turning out to be epidemic among the youth today, and a lot of our experts and advocates are looking at the point that we need to a lot of hands on deck, not to tackle this societal menace. Thank God to the international media that have to push the federal government of Nigeria to be able to look into the abuse of drug in society. Wow, people are saying this have not been the time we'll be pending the government to do something until international media step in. All right, this is what we look at today. We have with us is a popular face. Yes, we can't be reading all the description, the bow today, but our doctor is here with us this morning. We have Dr. Maymunah Kadiri, a mental health physician and a mental health advocate. Wow. Let's just stop there today. She's known as the celebrity chic, and we are having her live today. Hello, Doctor. You're welcome to Health Matters.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, world. Because this is a worldwide broadcast.
I already remembered the conversation is ongoing online. You can tweet at us this morning. You can forward your message to us if you have a question for our guest, so that we get this information across to people. All right, our doctor is here with us, and when it comes to mental health, it's all about we always have somebody to look at today. Okay, doctor, let's start from issues of drug abuse. Okay, before even I talks about drug abuse, nobody can deny the fact that we do not have of the BBC documentary on the codeine abuse in the north. But to me, my first question is just this morning is that our body need drugs.
Yes, definitely.
So if our body need drugs, is it that let's come to drug abuse and drug addiction?
Okay.
Because it's like these are two scenario things that are actually different. Because I want to accept our body need drugs.
Yeah.
But what the issues of drug abuse? Is it too much of it? Or it's just that we don't know the right prescription to take, or what is ongoing right now?
Food is even drug.
Okay.
Because we all need food, we need water, we need air, the basic needs of life. But of course, the thing is that we need drugs, and then sometimes people put it as medication. So the use of drug is not the bad part that we're looking at. Is the abuse or excessive use or misuse that becomes the issue. So it's very pertinent for us to delineate between these two things. Even the codeine we are talking about is very medical, it's very medicinal, it's of great benefit for those that have dry cough, not chesty cough. They are two different things. So it's not the abuse of of these drugs or medication that becomes that makes it an issue. So it's for us as people, because I won't say only Nigerians, it's us as people to know that drug use, we can't run away from it. We need drugs at one certain stage or the other in our lives, because health is an integral part of our well-being. And if you are not healthy, a lot of times, aside from choosing healthy lifestyle, maybe exercise, eating well, sleeping well, medication may come in. But it's the abuse of this medication, like I said, either excessive use or misuse that makes it go into an addiction. So drug abuse and drug addiction, they are two different things.
Okay.
They are two different things. Drug abuse gradually leads to an addiction.
Okay. Let's come to everybody is familiar right now that we are actually abusing drugs, and this is common among the youth. Why is not the adult abusing the drugs? Why is it the youth? And why do people abuse drugs?
Let me take it back to why we are seeing increase in teens, young adults, adolescents. The brain, right? Because there's a link between drug abuse and the brain. So the brain, as we mature, it grows. And then the critical aspect of the human brain is during the adolescent life, meaning that there could be drastic changes if you go wrong at that point, especially the part of the brain where we call the prefrontal cortex. Sorry, there's no other English name for that. Yes, that is the name, that is the medical name, the scientific name. The prefrontal cortex of the brain is that aspect of the brain that makes you take well informed decision, that doesn't make you go wrong in your thinking, that makes you composed, you are in control, and then of course for executive functioning. So you can now imagine if an adolescent starts taking drug at that point. So it keeps your emotions under control, that part of the brain. Once you start taking drugs, and not the sad part about abuse is that when people start, they always think they are in control. And no, this part of the brain keeps you under control. But you never know when you cross the line. So changes that happen at that part, that happen in this part of the brain, at that certain part of development, may be permanent. That is why they are now saying drug abuse is a developmental addiction. It's a disease of the brain, because the brain is still developing. Let's not forget. Okay. So now there are now drastic changes that have occurred at that point, which could be permanent. So and it's very clear when they do what we call this brain scanning imaging. There are physical changes that happen in that part of the brain. It's very visible. Even if you are not a non-medic, when you see the normal brain from this brain imaging, you will see that changes have occurred. And of course, it now traces back. So when people lie about, maybe I just started using drugs now, a very classical way of just knowing if this person has been doing drugs before now is also do that brain imaging, aside from the common urine toxicology test we use in detecting the drugs in the system and all that. So that one is very good. That is why we are saying addiction is a developmental disorder, and of course it's a brain disease because it affects that aspect of the brain.
All right, for those who are tuning in still Light Matters, we are still with Dr. Maymunah Kadiri. Even my next question would have been that how it altered the brain, but it's like a point have been touched in that area. Remember, you can tweet at us this morning. You can forward your questions to us. Also, yes, the phone line 08139260994. I take WhatsApp this morning. Same number 08139260994. You tweet at us or you send your message to us on Facebook. We are still with Dr. Kadiri. We just return after the short break. Don't go away. Alrighty, welcome back to Still Health Matters, and we are with Dr. Maymunah Kadiri, a mental physician and a mental health advocate. Wow. Doctor, let's come to this. I want to know if it's a statement, maybe it's a myth or misconception. People say that if you use marijuana a lot in your teens day, it's going to affect your learning, your studying, and a lot of things. Is this really a fact?
Yes, because that prefrontal cortex is about that executive functioning, decision making, emotions putting in control, even your memory. So the thing is, because addiction is a brain disease,
right.
It affects it, and we are talking about you using it in your teen days when your brain was still under intense development. It's still undergoing development to maturity. So your brain was not matured. It's at that point it's an immature brain, and then you started using drugs or abusing drugs, because using is not the word, it's abusing that is the problem. It's when you start abusing. And then gradually, maybe the person may be addicted, it may not be, or it became a regular user. So some people will say, no, I'm not addicted, I'm just a regular user. Both of them can experience the same thing, because a regular user may be intoxicated, get behind his car, and then drive off and kill himself or kill other people. So for the fact that you are not yet addicted, but you are a regular user, you're already almost crossing the barrier. Because being a regular user means that with time, you may start enjoying the drug of abuse and then neglecting other things that you love to do. Your personal hygiene, your school work, if you are still a student, your work in the office, if you are working, your relationship with people will be will be severe, because you are now having pleasure in other things aside from what ordinarily you love to do. And that, of course, now is what we are not talking about addiction. Sometimes people even start experiencing forensic issues with the law, being arrested or doing things for offense. In fact, some people, aside from that, even go into stealing just to keep their habit. It depends on the drug of abuse.
Is it to acquire those drugs?
Yes.
Or the drugs actually is one causing all this?
To acquire. Why? Because you want to now sustain. So you see somebody start taking a puff of marijuana now. With time, 2 puffs, 3 puffs, half a wrap, 1 wrap, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, depending. It becomes from that a puff to maybe 2, 3, 4 wraps per day. And then the person is not having that much money, or he doesn't have friends that will give him money to buy. So to sustain that habit, he needs to get something to get those drug of abuse. So he can sell, maybe he has a laptop of 250,000. At that point, he doesn't really care. He can dash it out, or he can sell it for a mega amount of 10,000 just to sustain that habit. So you see the many dangers of abusing drugs. They are numerous, from physical to mental to financial to social, affecting not only the individual, but of course a ripple effect into the society, and getting the family and relatives also involved.
All right, I think you almost talk about, because I was about to ask you, are there signs and symptoms for someone to be able to know that I am abusing these drugs?
The thing is that the individual, a lot of times, they are in denial. Okay. They are in denial in the fact that I'm in control.
Okay.
I can stop when I want to stop. Forgetting that being a youth, like I said, the brain is still immature. And of course, that part of the brain that keeps you under check, is being destroyed with your regular use. So for that individual, may not know. But even if it's an adult, some adults also, they are in denial. But for people around that person, what has changed? The truth is that what has changed in that person for you to know that there's a problem? That is what people should watch out for. What has changed? Is this person now sleeping more than before? Is this person now eating more than before? Is this person now more aggressive than before? Is this person now more socially withdrawn, not interacting with people more? So definitely something changes for people to know that at that point there is a problem. But they won't know they may not know it's an addiction. The only way people may know that this is an addiction is those other things we talked about, neglecting other activities just to focus on this drug of abuse. So you see the person, if he's a student, he's not even going to classes, he's not going for his classes or her classes, the academic performance is now becoming poor, interaction with other people is no longer as good as it used to be. So for us as individuals, or as parents, or as teachers, or as educators, we need to watch out for this certain things, that change factor, because it's only when you notice the change you can say, okay, recommend that this person should go for a proper evaluation or a proper assessment, especially if you've not caught that person red-handed, that this person is abusing this drug. Because they can take marijuana and take tom-tom, lick all those lollipop, something that they will not even know that this person is even abusing this drug. And sadly, smoking marijuana is not as common as it used to even be. It's eating it now. So when people eat it, they will not know whether that individual is abusing any drug or not. Is that change that will make people to know that there's a problem?
Okay, let me ask this question. The ban on codeine-based syrup right now, will it be able to cover addiction?
No. In fact, it's even a wrong move. Why? Because we all know, not only in Nigeria, when certain things are hampered or hidden, or people get to understand, because there's a lot of media publicity on it, those that are not even abusing will want to know, okay, what really is about that thing that they are putting in ban. And then those that are already abusing it, we want to get it at all means, at all costs, so there'll be more crime rate, and then of course more violent behavior and all that. Then those in the business, or those that are aspiring to be in the business, because now we will not even have more people coming to the business. This thing has a ban, or that means there'll be high demand rate. So illegal influx into the market, and all those other factors that will be harmful not only to the individual, of course, to the society. So a total ban, no, but going to the root cause.
Okay.
Why are people doing drugs?
Okay.
Why? And when we begin to understand the reason why people do drugs, then we'll be able to start working from there forward, in the sense that, okay, because we know, like I've said in one of these shows, that these are the 5 easy ways people will know why people do drugs. To experiment.
Okay.
Why are people experimenting? A lot of times it spans from the family background. Father is using, mother is using, relatives in the house they are using. They are even sending the boy to go and buy cigarette around the corner. They are even giving, some parents even say, take this anything. Just you are a boy. Especially for the man to the boys. And of course we know peer pressure too. So my person is doing it, this group is doing it. So to experiment, we are curious. And as a youth, that curiosity comes with it. That is youthful exuberance and all that. Then of course to fit in because they want to belong. They want to be in that group that the whole school knows about. They want to be in that group that the whole street knows about. They want to be in that a cliche where people know that these are the G boys and all that. So to fit in also is a reason why they abuse drugs. Another way is to feel better, because we are narrowed down to adolescent youth now. To feel better, because some of them are shy, some of them have social anxiety, some of them may even be depressed. I remember beginning of the year when Michael Helps, the Olympic gold winner, who has had about 28 wins over time, that medals. He talked about the fact that he was depressed, and because he needed help for depression, he started medicating himself by abusing drugs. So that is a renowned world celebrity. So he came out, talked about it. He got help for the depression and of course the drug abuse. So people use drugs, do drugs or abuse drugs to feel better. Another reason is to feel good. Feel good because the fact that that one also comes with the pressure, with the peer pressure and other things, that when you take drugs, you'll be happy. And that happiness can be so intense that you'll be euphoric. And because the drug, when you take any drug, the part of the brain that is that gives it back is the reward center. The reward center just tells you that this thing is pleasurable. And then of course, with time, as you take it, that pleasure center, that reward center just keeps giving you that, yes, this you have to get it, take it to sustain that defect that you have. So the truth is that people do that to feel good. So that's euphoria, and then I can stop it on my own. I have control, and forgetting that it's very easy for them to cross the line. And last but not the least, which we are seeing so much, very rapid, very rampant amongst our artisans, amongst our blue collar people, is to do better. They use it as a performance enhancement.
I think this is even the common one among the youth today. Okay, I'll go for the short break. When we return, we'll look at the way out. If there's a remedy, if there's a solution, and we asked Dr. Maymunah to just talk to us more about this project that is ongoing, the movie, and also Pinnacle Medical Service, what is ongoing there, and the provision they have for people who are having issue with drug abuse. Don't go away. Remember, you can tweet at us. You can send your message to us via WhatsApp, SMS 0813-926-0994. Don't go away. Alright, welcome back. We are still here with Dr. Maymunah Kadiri, the CEO and the Pinnacle Medical Service. Doctor, for people who are actually having drug abuse issue, is it too late or is not too late for them to have a turnaround?
It's not too late. There's always a turnaround for everything. It's called rehabilitation. But of course, it's always better when the individual says, yes, I need help, as against when people around him, friends, family, relatives, or colleagues say he or she needs help. Because it's all about the mindset. Because when you desire to break through from a certain habit, it's easier to be able to overcome it. So it's good they seek help for themselves, but if they don't have that willpower, that person can be helped, can be pushed to to achieve that willpower and then go for rehabilitation. So the rehabilitation, the first thing is go for to the proper physician. For drug addiction, the best doctor for them is a psychiatrist that will do a proper evaluation. And that evaluation is not just the drug of abuse. That evaluation goes down to childhood history, educational history, the type of drugs, how, when, why. It's holistic, forensic changes, and then make a proper diagnosis. Is that diagnosis that they will now use? So it may be mental and behavioral disorder due to marijuana abuse or multiple substance abuse. Maybe the person has depression. So it's not just anybody they should just go to just go and make a diagnosis. There are what we call ICD-10 diagnoses that are World Health Organization standard.
Okay.
If you are in Nigeria and Europe, and if you are in America, they are what they call the DSM-5 diagnosis. These are standard diagnostic tools that you can use, and then of course when that comes on, there will be now laid out management plan. Not everybody abusing drugs must go into a full rehabilitation in-house.
All right.
There are some people that just need maybe counseling, maybe outpatient care that person need when they come in for maybe weekly counseling or group session counseling, or with family, with friends and all that. Some people definitely will need inpatient rehabilitation under a protected care, where person will go through what we call medical detoxification phase first before the rehabilitation proper. That medical detoxification phase takes care of the withdrawal symptoms. Because when you ask somebody who has been abusing drugs, you will find out that the reason why they keep going back is that they've tried stopping at some point, and then they experience some unpleasant symptoms, which we call withdrawal symptoms. And I couldn't sleep, I was trembling. The moment they go back to the substance of abuse, they feel better. So that person must go through the detox phase and under a protected roof, be monitored by doctors and nurses and the whole team, not in just anyhow place, because some people may have withdrawal symptoms that may lead to convulsion.
All right.
So if the person convulses, that is another medical problem on its own. So once they go through this detox phase, then they can go into the proper rehabilitation when they've acquired what we call insight. Insight meaning, yes, I've come to this stage where I know that this drug of abuse is not good for me. I need to stop it, and then they start going through the stages. Depending on the drug of abuse, alcohol, they may go through the 12-step stages. Marijuana, if the person is already having what we call psychotic symptoms, because not everybody that is addicted or is going through a drug rehabilitation. Psychotic meaning that this person has symptoms like hallucinations or delusions. And hallucinations are in the 5 sensory modalities. That is the sight, that is visual hallucination, or hearing, that's auditory hallucination, and all the other olfactory and tactile and all that. But the most common ones are the visual and auditory. And then delusions, meaning when people say someone is paranoid. So for us, it's a delusional issue. We call it paranoid delusion, when they are suspecting somebody wants to kill them, when it's false.
All right.
So that kind of person must go through that rehabilitation with an antipsychotic medication, counteracting these symptoms that this person is experiencing. So it's a whole lot. The best thing is just even prevent. Because now you can see the whole process of trying to get the person reintegrated back into the society is a whole kettle of process.
So can we get a duration? A month, 2 months? A year?
It's individualized. It's individualized in the sense that somebody may come in to say, okay, we want to go through a proper rehabilitation the next 1 month, 2 months. The person may develop complications. The withdrawal symptoms may be so intense, other issues come in. The rehabilitation phase, person has not developed that willpower to go through it. So it's individualized. Within a month to 3 months, 6 months, we'll get people properly rehabilitated back into the society. But we've seen that even studies have shown that relapse rate among those that have been rehabilitated for drugs is still high. Because oftentimes they go back to the same society, the same friends. So the enablers in that society will still make them go, we still influence them.
Okay, let's talk about the ongoing project. You are the CEO of the Opinion Medical Service. You also the initiator of if I'm right, Speak Out, Pinnacle Medical Speak Out Initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us more about the Speak Out Initiative, how that's able to help people in drug abuse and more things that people should know out there.
Pinnacle Medical Speak Out Initiative was born out of the fact that we as we went into Pinnacle Medical Services, we found that there was a huge depth of lack of information when it comes to mental health in Nigeria. Advocacy is very low, very minimal, and because labeling discrimination and stigma is still highly attached to people living with mental illnesses, so we have to draw back from treatment to prevention. So we set up Pinnacle Medical Services for treatment and all that, but we found out that no, if we don't put preventive measures in place, we definitely will not get to where we want to go. And our own value proposition here is to impact lives positively. So for me and for my team, we have to go back, and that went to this Speak Out initiative where we started doing advocacy, going to schools, going to churches, going to mosques, creating awareness on radio platforms like this. And then 2 years ago, we said, okay, let's go into movie production, because we found out that that is the biggest space where information can reach people. So our own kind of movies are, they have a strong message, but they are not, they are entertaining, but they are not losing that message that we want to put across. So we did one on drug abuse 2 years ago on Pepper Soup, which was a very short movie.
All right.
But of course, we are trying to turn into a feature film. We talked about how workers, when you go to work, most people don't even eat when they get to work. So they eat at long places, joints and all that. And Pepper Soup, because this young guy, these are real life stories anyway. This young guy started taking Pepper Soup in a particular joint, and sadly, the leaves, which we all know that Pepper Soup was replaced by marijuana leaves.
Okay.
So this guy got, it wasn't brought to the hospital because he was addicted. He was misbehaving. It was an accidental finding when he was brought to the hospital, because they queried acute psychotic disorder. They didn't know the reason why it became very violent and all.
After taking Pepper Soup.
Yes, so it was the laboratory investigation that showed that this guy is taking marijuana. And then of course when they went back into the history, did land investigation, went to play there during our movie premiere, and it saw that the movie was very important to be viewed more than just a group of people. So the nationwide tour is still ongoing. Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, come on board. It's still ongoing. Take this chance, take this opportunity. You just need a minimum of 100 people if you want to go to the cinema. If it's a town hall meeting, it can be 1,000. We can still screen it, and then we have a panel discussion. But if it's to the movie, we just need a minimum of 100 people to go to the cinema with us. And Genesis Cinema is in agreement in all their cinema.
Free of charge, or
it's free. It's free. It has been sponsored by Ford Foundation. And if you are having it in your community and we are going to do a town hall meeting, no matter, against all my activities, one of the criteria I've signed with Ford Foundation that I must be there to be part of the panel discussion, to answer questions. So please share this, let people know. Call on us. It's just for us to let Genesis Cinema know. We've already booked May 25th now for SME 100. That they have over 10,000 people in their network. So they've already booked that they want us to come show it 5 p.m. on Friday, May 25th. So, and then of course there's a church also coming on board soon. There's so many people that are keying in, share it, tell people, and let people know that they can log in. It is free. We just need cinema 100 people. Town hall, it can be 1,000. But of course it will be screened there. It's an hour 40 minutes movie.
All right.
And of course we have a panel discussion.
Let's just take this word on it's not only limited to Lagos, but those
yes, Kaduna, Port Harcourt, Abuja. Please call on us. We are good to go. We're ready.
Let's just hear what final words youth have there, the teenagers, what they need to know. I think you said the best way is just to stay away from these drugs.
It's to stay away. That's the best way. So parenting, I keep going back, because teenagers, adolescents, they're still under the parental care. So let's go back to the family. Intentional parenting is a deliberate thing. It shouldn't be supervised. It shouldn't be outsourced. We have to be intentional in seeing that our children get the right information, be with the right set of friends, be in the right clique, and of course, advise them, educate them. Parents that that tell themselves, oh no, I'm not in this social media age. I tell parents, please be on social media, not because you want to go there and go and be talking blah blah blah, because you can get to know a lot about your child, who he follows, who she follows, who follows him or her, on those social media platforms, and use that information to advise him or her appropriately. It's very good. Children go on, adolescent, young adult, even the young adult, even adults now go on Twitter to go and rant. That's like their diary of those days. They go around there, and those information can bring them down. So, okay, I know this is the thought process of your child can be elicited while even on such platforms. So we have to be intentional in our parenting. We have to advise, give them the right information, because when they go out there, they can get all manner of information which will not be good for their mental and physical well-being.
All right, lastly, let's know, people asking, how can we reach Dr. Maymunah Kadiri?
I can reach Pinnacle Medical Services at Pinnacle Med NG,
Okay.
at Pinnacle Health R. Those are our social media platform. At PMS Speak Out, that is for the Pinnacle Speak Out initiative. Our 4 lines, I think have our 4 lines.
I think we will release that on the website. We'll connect any official email for anything people can refer to you.
Our official email is pinnaclemedicalnigeria@gmail.com. Pinnacle is the PINN. pinnaclemedicalnigeria@gmail.com.
All right, we really want to appreciate Dr. Maymunah Kadiri, the CEO MD of Pinnacle Medical Service. Yes, she's a mental health physician.
I think there's a question here. I think we have a question on my Easter Live.
Okay.
Somebody said, thank you everyone that has been on my Easter Live stories. Thank you, Queen the King. Thank you very much. There's a question here asked by all these our names kind of very fun. I don't know. Morning, doctor. I have a friend that is using marijuana. He smokes it when he's not at work, drinks it when he's at work. Wow. He says it aids concentration. What is your advice for this person? Prevention is better than cure. At this point in time, it will give you all the good benefits. So tell your friend all the good benefits, but certainly there is always the other side of abusing drugs. Now he's smoking, he's drinking. It's like a cocktail now. Let's not forget that any trigger, we have what we call risk factors and protective factors. Okay. We don't know what his risk factors are, and if for any reason anything tilts this young man off, it may be a problem, and he cannot know when he's intoxicated. So because we always say, oh, we are in control. So this young man may say, oh, I'm in control now. He never knows when he crosses the line. So it's always best, as a friend now that you're asking this question, please tell him he can work himself to get out of using this drug of abuse, because it's definitely not going to help him. It's destroying his brain gradually as it is now. So that's one question we have here. I think that is the main question. I think there's no other question here.
All right, okay. I think we want to appreciate everybody for tuning in today, for joining us, and also Dr. Maymunah Kadiri. Yes, really busy, but she spared her time to join us today on Health Matters. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you.
All right, remember, most of these sections are recorded so that your friends and family that you wish they should listen to this can also connect later. Just 24 hours, we have them on our podcast, pinnacleradio.org/podcast. So able to get all these sections and also our previous section. Remember, stay abreast of news. Follow the hashtag PHR News on Instagram and also on Twitter. And remember, it's still great things happening here. Don't change that. Pinnacle Radio is here to deliver retirement solutions. Till next time I come your way on Earth Radio on Health Matters, I remain Samuel Halabi. Stay healthy always, and don't change your routine on your health journey. I'll see you another time.